lot of you are going through ascension symptoms and breaking down dimensional ley lines, going through past lifetime regressions, and releasing the cords that have been connecting to you since the dawning of mankind. Also from the ideologies, belief systems, the lack of conviction, the lack of awareness within our own reality because we choose not to reside in an energy that doesn't make us feel like we are wanted. This means you have to want yourself, you have to desire yourself, you have to see yourself as the higher self, fully realized, and come into an understanding of who you are. It doesn't mean that spirituality fixes all of your problems, but it just makes life a little bit better, and also it makes it not less enjoyable and less painful. It doesn't mean that everything is just going to happen miraculously for you, but it won't feel as if you're in a tug of war or a tussle all the time. You'll have heightened emotions. You will have days where you don't feel like getting up in the morning. You will have days where you feel like living here is just such a waste of time. And because we have lived so many times, we don't know how to implement the knowledge that comes from the stars and comes from there and implement it within our current day-to-day reality. A lot of you are very, very gifted, but you're not gifted in the ways of the third dimension. Actually more gifted in spirituality and metaphysics, but sometimes that doesn't translate over into your normal life, and then seeing when that does not happen, it doesn't feel like it's reciprocated. But to apply it, to do it every day, to see that it's always the beginning of a new day, no matter what, gives us the ability to see that spirituality doesn't have to necessarily be your entire life, but it can just be something that's added to your life. There is a sense of toxic seeking. There is when you're overdoing it. And then sometimes when you're a spiritual worker, you can overexert yourself. But when you have the passion and the glory to do that and to want to do that and to want to connect with other people's hearts and minds, you want to do that. But sometimes it's not always the most important thing. Sometimes regular life and other aspects of your reality and connecting to each individuation of creation that allows you to connect into the wisdom that you want to be a part of. So a lot of the times when we are connecting in this way, we want to connect into different ways of seeing things, different ways of going about things, different ways of attuning to wisdom. So there's many different wisdoms and everybody's gifted in a different way. Not everybody's gifted like myself. Not everybody's gifted in the way that your friend is. But we're all gifted in a certain way that gives us the ability to see that yes, we are very, very gifted in many different ways. Find out how you're gifted. Some of you is trance writing, remote viewing, but meaning that there's certain things in spirituality that you don't want to do. And there's certain things in life that you don't want to do, and sometimes you have to, and I understand that, but sometimes it's like, if we don't do something that is passionate or something that is releasing, something that gives us life in some way, shape, or form, then we're selling ourselves short, and we're not able to see that, yes, we are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that's the only way that we balance that out. So the only way that we balance out our human experience with our metaphysical experience is to see that there is a fine balance between real life and metaphysical life and the psychological side. A lot of you are experiencing that like right now. A lot of you are hurting, from past transgressions, maybe addictions that you've had, maybe you went through a breakup, maybe you've tried really hard to get that job and you just suddenly didn't get it. Everything happens in divine timing. And sometimes I've been on the path for 6 years, and a lot of things that have happened in my life have happened, but not everything has. So just because you're on the path for like 10 or 20 years doesn't mean that you're going to be successful about it. And what is success? What is happiness? What is contemplation and meditation time? And what does it mean to really be a balanced being? So sometimes it's not always about why we're on the path or why we do the things that we do, but it's the very fact that we are here now, awakening on this journey and in our connection with it. So it gives us a distinction of like what we want to do and how we want to do it, how we want to carry our lives out. So, and a lot of people don't think that they're gifted, or don't think that they're special, or don't think that they are one of a kind. And I'm just here to tell you that's not true. All of you are gifted in some type of way. It's just figuring out what that is, and then applying it, learning about it, and then doing it. I don't care if you're an actor, I don't care if you're an inventor, marketer, whatever it may be, who gives a fuck, right? Be a knight in shining armor, who cares? But Bottom line, don't be afraid to do it. Because I did it and it changed my life in a lot of different ways. And did it make my life completely better? Did it make my life completely structured or completely hunky-dory, rainbows and butterflies? Absolutely not. But it made it more better where I was gifted a new life. And sometimes that took a while for me to understand that I was gifted a new life and that I'm living it here and now. So just live the life that you've been given. And sometimes it's not perfect, but none of us are.